Hi Farhan, welcome to our show.
Thank you very much for having me.
You've taken the rock scene to a different level and now there's Rock On 2 coming. How are you preparing for that movie?
I'm not actually. I think somebody somewhere has jumped the gun, you know, on the Rock On 2 announcement.
People want it so bad.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I mean, we are interested in doing it.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's the first step.
Yeah.
The first step is that Abhishek, who's the director of the film, and myself as the producer, and Ritesh, of course, we're interested in doing it. People who were in the films, whether it's Arjun or Purab, everyone's really excited about wanting to be in the sequel as and when it happens. But again, it's work in progress. You know, it's still at a stage where the writers are sitting and putting a story together. I'm quite hopeful, you know, and I'm quite optimistic that they will come up with something that's interesting.
Like when Rock On happened, you know, people always say these things about Arjun, that, you know, he's a wooden actor, he can't act and all of that. You know, he's heard that for a while. And then the national award happened. So what was your reaction?
I'm very, very happy for him. You know, I've worked with him before that on Dawn.
Right.
I mean, again, I think he's someone who really, really needs to work, get involved, I think, in a project a little bit earlier. You know, I don't know how he's worked on films before I worked with him on Dawn. But I think he's a very intelligent man, you know, and he's a very sensitive man. So I think if he's given an adequate amount of time to prepare for the role, you know, he'll always do a good job. You know, so I don't know how he was approaching his work, whether he was getting into films too late in terms of just before shooting, or, you know, I don't know what the system was. But I've noticed this of him, that whenever he's given a serious amount of prep time, he always delivers a good performance. So I think he should hopefully follow that routine as far as I'm concerned.
Calling Karthik didn't work as well as many of the other movies.
Sure.
So, and you were the lead actor in that.
Sure.
So didn't you at some point feel that, oh my gosh, should I just go back to direction because acting is not working? The panic
not really.
thing didn't happen?
At the end of the day, it's in the history of filmmaking, there's not one single actor who's never had an unsuccessful movie. So you can't get so put down. I mean, failures will come. You know, I mean, it's a part of your life, whether it's your private life or whether it's your professional life. There will be failures, there will be ups and downs. So you just take that in your stride and keep focusing on what's coming up.
But don't you think that we are sometimes fairly hard on our directors because you can't have your best creative work with every movie? Like, for example, you're working with Rakesh Mehra soon. Yeah. I mean, he's given us a Rang De Basanti, which is unforgettable. Sure. And then there was Delhi 6. And you know, you're really hard on a filmmaker because you're always expecting that much out of him.
Again, I mean, this is...
The same thing happened with you because you made a Dil Chahta Hai and, you know...
Yeah, but again, the thing is, what people think of your work, what people are expecting from you is one aspect of doing what you do. But that is not the driving force. You know, the driving force is that how excited are you about this film, how excited you are about the story, and that's all you need to focus on. I mean, everything else. Today people expect stuff from you, tomorrow you may have 2 films that don't do well and people stop expecting things from you. And then you do another film and then it's like, oh my God, he's back. You know what I mean? So I mean, that's going to just keep coming and going. It's not something you can waste too much of your creative energy towards focusing.
There is one thing a director should keep in mind while doing a remake, one thing he should not do.
That he should not do?
Yeah.
I think the thing that he should not do is probably take the viewer for granted. I think that's the most important.
Pehla wala chal gaya to.
I think that's a slightly dangerous thing. I think, like I said, what people are going to think of your film will happen later. If you start thinking for them, you know that's going to be a problem. So I think it's important to know that, okay, fine, we're excited about doing this film, but there has to be content, there has to be a story, and there has to be a reason as to why this film is made.
What were you thinking when you first made Dawn?
When I first made Dawn, actually there were a couple of thoughts. One, to me, when I first thought about making it was that I really, really wanted to do something that would show my love of that era of movie making, you know, which I grew up watching. So to me, films at that time, whether it's Amar Akbar Anthony, Dawn, Diwar, Sholay, all these movies, I'm a huge fan of. So for me, I thought I'm making films now and it would be great to take a film from that time and introduce it to a whole new lot of children and an audience that may not be familiar with that film. So that was the first thought. And then while writing it, what I thought would be interesting to do would be to give a new meaning to the line "Dawn ko pakadna mushkil hi nahi namumkin hai." You know, where he actually not only plays the characters in the movie, but he also plays the audience.
So the line stayed on with you for so many years.
Yeah, the line was, and the line is, I mean, it's Dawn's line, you know, and when he says that line, that it's not possible to catch me, you know, you want suddenly when you involve the viewer into it, where you think, okay, fine, I figured it out, but you haven't. It's actually applicable to you as well.
It's an open door. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You know, with filmmakers like Zoya, Reema Kakti, Kiran Rao, there's a new respect for female directors in our country, which wasn't happening. And you have given, you've done two with two female directors. So, you think there's a good chance for them now? I mean, you should encourage more women coming forward in directing cinema.
Of course. I mean, I don't see any reason. I would focus more on encouraging people who have good stories to tell, regardless of their gender. I'm not on any mission to promote female directors. I'm on a mission to try and just keep making movies that I believe in. So whether it's a female director, I have no problem. If it's a male director, I have no problem. So it's nice that they're making films, and we have Farah, who's another successful female director as well. So it's nice that two of them are from my family. I feel very proud of I feel very proud of them.
So as a producer and as a director, when you're working with two female actors, it's difficult to handle them? I mean, there's always a thing about,
I think, these problems that existed, I think, between actors, between actresses, especially when it came to films, I think existed because a lot of them, got into films at a certain point. When we've all heard about a time in filmmaking where there were no lock scripts, scenes were written on the set, people just wanted to work with the producer or work with the director, so they'd get into something and then realize maybe their role is not as good as they thought. If, for example, Rani and Kareena are now working together in Reema's film.
Right, yeah.
And the reason I think they've said yes to it, is because they've read the script and they know exactly what it is they're doing.
Right.
If they were just told, oh, you're going to be in a film with Amir and you're going to be in a film with Amir, and then suddenly they came there and someone realized they have only 2 scenes, there would be a problem. But they know what the truth is. It's on paper for everyone to read.
Recently in an interview you said that Kareena, according to you, Kareena is like the best actress we have. Doesn't it ruffle a few feathers?
I don't know. Nobody's commented anything to me. This is what I feel. I feel she's a great... I think she's a really, really good actor. It came as a, I don't know, what context. It was on some show, I think, where somebody asked me.
Yeah.
I think she's a really, really good actor. She's a very versatile actor. For sure.
It was lovely, Farhan. Thanks so much.
Thank you.